It's part one of our conversation with legendary Yes singer Jon Anderson. I'm John Beaudin from Rocky Stream Music. 1,000 Hands Chapter 1 is an album that took 30 years to make. It's finally available. Here's our conversation with Jon Anderson.
Oh, John Malanga asks, what's your current relationship with Steve Howe?
Well, it's like anything, I did an interview a few months ago and they just put it out. It's on Mojo, English. And they're asking me, will Yes get together? I'd love to. I said, I'd love to get together, yes. And Steve just did one on Rolling Stone, said, never's not going to happen. But he knows that I'm very open, but he has his own pocket and position to take, that he has Yes.
But I mean, we both know the fans want you back in that band. I mean, that's not disputable.
But I wouldn't go back in that band because I don't think they're that good. Now, I've said it now, they're good, but not that good. If I could get a gig with Jacob Collier, now that's good. My band from Orlando, they're good. And we proved it by touring. We did incredible versions of Starship Trooper.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to, next year, springtime, I would like to try Close to the Edge with them because it'd be cool to do it in a more 21st century style. People might not like it, but I'll try it. I'll try anything. Twice.
You had a major hand on that album, especially because that's one of my favorites, and I know the fans love that one as much.
Oh yeah, well I knew, and the crazy story is that I was on tour with the band Fragile, and we had a hit record, and we're touring and playing in front of 10,000 people, playing Heart of the Sunrise, and they're listening, intensely, and we're playing intensely, and then we saw My Vishnu Orchestra, and that's kind of energy. You go, oh God, there's so many great bands around. We're with them. I listened to Sibelius in the morning. Whenever I traveled, I could, Sibelius, Stravinsky, but more Sibelius really grabbed me, And his Seventh Symphony, it struck a note in my mind that I'd listened to that symphony, and then I realized it was one piece, because symphonies are usually in 3 sections, but this was in one long, organic, beautiful Earth Mother music of Earth, and it's called the Seventh Symphony, and it was probably his last one. I know he tried the eighth, but it never materialized. So the seventh was and it was 26 minutes long, and I thought that's where we got to go, because. And I spoke to Steve about the idea of a long form piece. We could only fit 20 minutes on a record because you could only fit 20 minutes on a vinyl. So one day, Steve out of the blue started singing I've got this song, Close to the Edge, round by the corner, down at the end, la, 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 la. I said, down by the river, season, modulate, season, pass you by. And I'd sing, I get up, and he'd play the right chord. And that's it. We've got it. We got the kingpin. We got the chorus. What's the verse? Getting over all the time. Very simple song. But I started talking about the idea of it more or less in the studio, because me and Steve have put together 4 or 5 sections already. But they said, how do you hear starting it? And I just said, what I'd sometimes hear on stage is you guys are so flat out, solo, guitar solo, and keyboard, and you guys are up there. Can we start up there? Like that? And so they did. And thunder and lightning. And I suggested that in order to do that, you got to know when to stop. What do you mean stop? Well, it'd be perfect if you went like that. And well, how are we going to stop? I said, well, Steve's got this riff he plays. I had it on cassette. I think I remember this very well. And I played it. Can you play that again, Steve? Oh, yeah. So that's the riff you're going to listen for. He'll give you a nod. So we're rehearsing it like that. And I said, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hurtle in there. And then they'd all be kicking away, Bill Proof like crazy, you know. And then they'd all look for Steve and they said, here it comes. It's like, it was magic, you know. And then we had the first stanza. Chris got into the bass part, you know, kicking like crazy. The seas on which could go, I had this thing of one same note all the way through. It's like a Gregorian chant. You know. It was so much fun creating that track, especially that track, because we had this middle section. Steve was playing some chords, and I said, we're going to go into this ocean of sound. And they look at me and say, what do you mean by that? I said, you know, just ocean of sound. Because I had an album by a guy called, it was Sonic Seasoning. It was called, I'll remember his name in a minute, but it was very, very surreal music. It was like electronic soundboard music. I just like the idea of coming out of the chorus into the melting down into this ocean of sound. And Steve got on the steel guitar and made a wash of sound. And so Steve had played me these chords and I started singing 2 million people barely satisfied, 200 women watch one woman cry, too late. I get up, I get down, you know, sort of. And so I said, okay, we'll get to a certain point, let the sound happen, and then Rick comes in with the chords to that song, like church organ sound, you know. And then the miracle happened was because we'd actually recorded it that day, and Steve said, you know something? I wrote a song on those chords, I just found it. And I said, well, what does it go like? And he said, in her white lace, you could clearly see the lady's hat. I said, well, just go and sing it. And as he sang his part, my part came in, it was like a miracle. Whoa! It was like dreams come true sort of thing.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Jon Anderson's latest album is 1,000 Hands, Chapter 1. Links in the description of this video. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Beaudin from Rocky Street Music.